All right, welcome back to another episode of Slinging It. I got Steve Che here as my designated sideline catcher on PFT. We got a very, very, very special guest, Taylor Heinicke, the legend himself, Commanders legend, football team legend. Let's start there. What do you think about the name Commanders?
I've said this before, I'm not a big fan of it. I thought there were so many different options that we could have gone with. I'd rather gone with Washington football team more than Commanders, but
yeah,
it is what it is. I like the black unis, they're sweet.
Yeah, I got to represent Trustway. He's my guy.
Yeah.
I heard that he's the best ping pong player in the NFL.
He's the best He's the best any house game you can think of. So he was dominating cornhole this year. I've heard his stories with ping pong in the past. He's a big trivia guy, so he's an all-around just dad
It's a
guy.
Classic punter too.
Yeah.
To be good at all that weird shit.
Yeah, he's got the
Now,
life.
You're also a really good punter.
Yes.
In college, what'd you average? 47 yards a punt?
I did, but we were in it'll be like a fourth down at like the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
And I was kind of just pooch punt it, so there was no returners.
Okay,
So
let's stick with your average. Don't
skewed,
downplay it. 47 yards a punt is pretty good. You're like the new Slash.
Who's Slash?
Slash, Cordell Stewart?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you do it all. You should market. So you're a free agent now going to this offseason. I hope you make a lot of money and have a lot of success, whether that's with the Commanders or not. But you should market yourself as not only being a quarterback, you're a starting quarterback, a backup quarterback, and a punter. It's 3 ways.
Well, my agent's here. I'm sure, put that on the resume.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack up the market value a little bit.
That's right.
So yeah, you had some pretty good games over the course of your career as a Commander and as a football team. My favorite was probably against the Eagles this year, Monday Night Football. Went out there, kicked their ass pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
So you're hoping that the Eagles win the Super Bowl, so that way you can be like, I'm actually better than the team that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's another thing to put on the resume. But again, it's hard to root for the Eagles, man. Those fans, them being in the division. It's hard to root for them, but I have 2 college teammates that are on the Eagles. Rick Lovato, long snapper, and then Zach Pascal, receiver. Yeah. So I'm rooting for them. Hopefully they can get a ring. That'd be pretty cool.
I was hoping that they were going to keep you in for the rest of the season this year. Don't know what happened. We can second guess, play armchair quarterback, all we want. I'm just going to say I think if you started for the rest of the year, we would have made the playoffs. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'll agree, but also say, I got the NFL script in 2015.
Yeah.
And they told me about the Giants game on Sunday night, how that was going to go.
Yep.
And then they told me 2 weeks later I was going to get benched, so I wasn't surprised.
When you got that script when you're starting off and you're going to be a Texans quarterback and you're going to go 1 for 1, get a concussion, and then not throw another pass for them, were you disappointed? Can we get a rewrite on this?
No, because 1 for 1 for 10 yards, it's 100% completion percentage on Christmas Day. That's a pretty good little introduction to the NFL, but not get another pretty much regular season throw for another 2 or 3 years after that. I would like to change that one.
Yeah, so did that script include you going to the XFL?
It didn't.
Yeah.
Obviously the XFL wasn't alive then, but I'll tell you one thing the XFL does great at is they reward players for winning. So you get an incentive for wins.
Yep.
And after every win, you come back in the locker room and they got a bunch of belters in there. So
yep.
It was a fun league. It was a fun league to be in. Hopefully the NFL can maybe throw some beers in there after the game.
Relax a little bit. Well, you had a nice little airplane beer after a big win this year. Did the NFL hit you up and they're like, hey, you're not allowed to drink a beer on a plane?
Oh yeah, I got a nice little hefty fine from that. But if we're going to beat the undefeated Eagles at their place on Monday night, I'll take the fine.
How much was that fine?
$16,000.
That's a pretty expensive beer.
Yeah.
But was it worth it?
Each beer was about $1,000.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was a great time. I also like how you you buy the Jordans after big wins. We got one for our camera guy Max in Eagles colors after that Monday night game, which he is wearing to the game. Can you believe he's wearing the shoes that you got him to the Super Bowl on Sunday? Yeah,
it's working out pretty well.
Do you think that that's bad luck that he's wearing the shoes that he got because you kicked their ass to the Super Bowl?
Well, it's been working playoffs, so hopefully it works for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But, you can thank me if you guys win the Super Bowl then.
What'd you do after the Giants game when you tied? Did you celebrate?
No. I think our bye week was after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of being drank.
I like
during
it.
that week.
Steve, so Steve, you prepared a full sheet of questions to ask Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you get one off the chest.
I mean, I'm a Bucks fan. One of your best games was against us. Losing effort, but put a scare in the world champs. You beat Tom Brady the next year. What was that like, talking to him after the game, or any discourse between you two?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Again, I grew up watching him. Obviously he's the GOAT. So, again, you know my story before that. I was kind of at home taking classes, watching him play, and next thing you know, I'm going against him in the playoffs. And we did very well. So, kind of having that opportunity to meet him and talk to him after the game was pretty surreal. Again, because 2 months prior, I never thought I was going to play again. So, it was one of those moments where you don't even remember it. You don't even remember what he said because you're kind of enamored by the whole deal. But no, it was a really cool moment.
You're the only quarterback to cover the spread against Tom Brady in those playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So for me, that's a win.
Oh, that's right.
Made me a nice little chunk of change on that.
2-0 against the spread against him.
That's right.
1-on-1, money line.
Hell yeah.
Winning somebody some money.
My last question is: the Dallas Cowboys are hated division rivals. When they lost in the playoffs, were you like, fuck yeah?
100%.
Yeah, good.
And the thing that pisses me off about them is they're still talking about them every morning on SportsCenter.
Yep.
Get Up, all that stuff. And it's like, there's still 8 other teams in the playoffs. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
And they just keep talking about the Cowboys. I can't stand them.
It gets annoying.
Yeah.
I did a bad job. I have one last question. Can you teach me the art of a Heinicke pylon dive?
You got any pylons out here?
Pretend that Stephen Che's the pylon. All right, Steve Che's the pylon. Stand right there. I'll be Fletcher Cox. I got the body type. So I see you breaking around to the right.
Yeah.
How's the Heinicke dive work?
So when you got big ass dudes getting paid a lot of money to kill you, you just put on the burners.
Yeah.
And then when you hit about the 5-yard line, you just gather yourself and go for it. So.
It's a work of art.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta try it out. You've got a pool right here you can try it out in.
Might have to give it a shot.
Yeah, why not?
Well, good luck, man. Hope you make a lot of money. If you're a Commander next year, I will root my dick off for you. If you're not, I'll still root my dick off for you because I like you.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem.